Welcome and welcome back to my channel. Okay, so I have quite the tragic story to share with you in this video. Unfortunately, quite a few murders have taken place in my area lately. It's really getting scary. But the story was quite the shocker and may have played out over the course of 2 days. On Thursday morning, October 1st of 2020, news reports coming out of Detroit, Michigan said that a man was found deceased in a burning vehicle on Detroit's east side around 2:30 a.m. A tragic story without many details surrounding it, so I figured I'd wait to see if more information came out about it. A short time later, my son received a phone call from his friend, who lives in a suburb just north of Detroit, saying that police were all over his street and that someone had been murdered. My son knew I'd want to know what was going on, so he told me about it and I looked into it. At that point, the news said police were investigating two deaths at a home in Warren, Michigan, which is a suburb of Detroit not far from where I live. But that was all the information they gave. With all the murder-suicides I've been reading about lately, I was sure it was going to turn out to be that, but it wasn't. What police said happened at that house was so much more shocking. When the story was updated later in the day, Detroit police said that the two separate crimes, the one in Detroit and the one in the city of Warren, were connected. They said after they found the deceased man in the burning car early in the morning, they found that it was a rental car, and they were able to identify him through the rental car paperwork. Next, they wanted to notify his family. When Detroit police arrived at his girlfriend's home in Warren just before 11 a.m., they found the door cracked open, but no one answered, so they became suspicious. They contacted Warren police for a welfare check, and Warren police entered the home. A few minutes later, police said they found the man's 28-year-old girlfriend, who has not been named, and his 6-year-old son, shot execution style on the basement floor. The man's girlfriend who was shot was not the mother of his son. The story was all over the news in the Detroit area, saying police are looking for the killer or killers in this triple homicide, and the deceased boy's mother was on the news, calling the killer disgusting and pleading for justice for her son. It was completely heartbreaking. Detroit and Warren police joined together to investigate this case, and they called in the FBI to assist due to the execution-style killing of a 6-year-old boy. Warren police say the scene in the basement of the girlfriend's home was horrific and want the FBI involved so the execution death of the 6-year-old boy can be declared a federal crime. Warren Police Commissioner Bill Dwyer said that once the FBI is involved and it's declared a federal crime, then the death penalty can be sought, even though Michigan is not a death penalty state. He said that the death penalty can be sought in federal crimes even in states that have abolished it. I didn't know that. The commissioner made the following statement about the case. Quote, "The execution-style killing of a 6-year-old boy is truly evil, unthinkable, senseless, and shows no regard for life. Only monsters and godless creatures would pull the trigger on a 6-year-old and execute a child." Unquote. During a press conference, the commissioner was asked why he wouldn't just follow the sentencing laws of the state of Michigan. He responded by saying that he wants the FBI involved so they can seek the death penalty because that is what the suspect or suspects deserve. He said they will not reveal whether they are searching for one or multiple suspects, but he said they have obtained search warrants for the house where the murders occurred and they're removing evidence and canvassing the neighborhood for surveillance footage. So, police say they're bringing in the FBI, and that's the last we hear on Thursday. Then Friday rolls around, and no new updates yet on the case. Now, I don't know if this is related to the triple homicide or not. If it is, police have not said so, but many people on social media are relating this to the murders and believe they are connected. Around 4:30 p.m. Friday, FBI agents are involved in a shootout with a man in a parking lot of a Texas Roadhouse restaurant in Madison Heights, Michigan, again a suburb of Detroit. News reports say the man was shot and killed by FBI, and one FBI agent was injured, but is expected to be fine. Employees and witnesses at the restaurant said the man was shooting at the FBI while running away, but he never made it out of the parking lot. News reports say that nobody in the restaurant or in the cars outside of the restaurant were hurt. It was just very scary. Now, when I look up this story, there isn't much information about it, other than the FBI was serving a warrant for a man with a weapons charge. I've not seen any reports that this FBI shootout is related to the triple homicide, but people online seem to think they are related, and the restaurant isn't too far from the location where the murders occurred. This is getting really scary, folks. If I hear any updates on this horrible tragedy, I will let you know. In the meantime, please pray for the victims of this terrible crime, especially little 6-year-old Tyraz Moore, who was completely innocent. I hope the FBI declares it a federal crime. Not that the death penalty will make a big difference, since felons sit on death row for years and years, even in death penalty states. But it may help Tyraz's family feel that they'll at least get some justice for the death of their beautiful little boy. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on my next video.